Let's look at web now, if that's all right. Deb, do you want to take on the web?
Right, so we've got the feedback again from the course reports.
Okay.
And just having a wee look at the speech bubbles, we can see what's causing the pupils' problems. And the key things are the session variables, the media queries, and the user interface design.
Right, so I was looking through this, okay, and I noticed that the course report mainly talks about design.
Yep, it does, and there's a great reason for that. Here's some positivity coming out tonight, is that's because the majority of the children do really well in the implementation, especially in web. It's usually handled really well.
Okay, always good to know. Right, okay, so where will we start then looking at this then?
Let's have a wee look at the user interface.
Right, okay. Okay, nice login form in a browser. But I mean, there's no examples of like inputs or outputs or underlying processes. It looks nice, but I don't kind of know what it does.
Yep, so I've not really done the examples of the inputs and the outputs because that is something that is usually done well.
All right, okay.
Right, so what we want to look at is the underlying processes. That's the bit that the children are struggling with. And sometimes what they do in the form is they try to put too much on the form.
Oh, okay.
So what we want to look at just now is, let me take away the top one. What I've done is, you can see I've put the numbers round, and you'll see that online. They draw the template out, they put the numbers round, and then they make notes on the numbers. So if I remove the top layer, again, the pupils are trying to fit it all in, the CSS, the inputs, the outputs, the processes, it's on the same page. They're writing so tiny. We're having to get out magnifying, turn our phones into magnifiers. It can be hard to see. So it would be better, if, for want of a better word, if it was, they could possibly put them down, maybe a section off a bit of the page, something like that, to make it easier for us to see.
Okay. And you're making it clear that external CSS is being used.
I am, because that is something that comes back, is that sometimes children are forgetting to use external. Now,
so even in the design phase, you need to kind of make that obvious.
I'm not. If I'm honest with you, if they just put it in, they would get the marks. Right? I'm just putting it here because they're still some of them are doing internal, and I think it's possibly because they've maybe studied database in 5th year, but they want to do a web project because it can make it look really pretty.
Okay.
Right. So if you look at number 3 and 4. And you can see there that it's the username and the password. And these have been validated. And we're clearly stating what the validations are.
Okay. So in the course report, it says the underlying processes are lacking detail. Is that kind of what you mean?
Yep, it's saying that, so saying there is validation, but not what validation is. So that's what we mean by the lacking in detail. So sometimes I'm wondering if a conversation that we aren't having is that when you've got your design done, you should be able to hand that off to the development team, and they should be able to take the design and create software straight from there.
On that, sorry, I'm jumping in here, and I must say I've seen my guys doing a bit of trying to be helpfully reverse engineer it after they've done the top level design of what the web's going to do, but lacking a bit of detail. They've then gone back after they've implemented it and added in the names, for instance, of the functions that are going to run to produce the functionality, but it's still not written down the details on the design.
That's a common one, isn't it, Fiona?
Yeah, I've seen that so often.
Right, so if we look at number at 5 and 6, we're moving on to the buttons.
Okay.
So the underlying processes that we're going to run, we're going to look at number, if I take this away, for number 5. And we've said in here the file that's running.
So submit the file.
Yep.
Okay.
And we've said exactly what's going on inside it. And I've also put in some information. I put some information in there about the session variable. You don't have to put information in there about the session variable as long as they're designed somewhere.
Okay, so that makes sense if it's all coming from that script that it's been run.
Correct. So
Okay.
in the final notes, if we remove this one, that's all about the cancel button, the logo image, and the home button.
Okay, so the cancel button resets the form, the size and name of the image, and the page of the home button goes to, okay, that's all fine. So really it's the validation processes and the submit button processes that need a bit of work.
I would say so, yes.
Okay, what about the kind of media queries? It said that there were some issues there.
I was going to jump in and ask about that one as well.
So media queries, let's have a wee look over here.
Okay. I mean, pupils have to do another drawing for each of the user interface, for each different size.
Oh, absolutely not. What we would suggest, so you've done all your user interface for the big screen for the browser. So what you could do is one drawing to show what it would look like. So the way I've done it there on that phone, you can see there that it's vertical. And then what to do is, as long as we've got the media query design, the trigger, and as long as we've got what the effect is, and one of the things that's suggested is that you could possibly use a comparison table. And in one, you've got your greater than the 600 px, and in the other one, you've got the max size of 600 px to explain what the difference is. But you've also got like maybe one drawing of it so you can visually see what that looks like.
Okay, that makes total sense. So like a UI design for every web page, full browser size, but then information about the trigger.
Yes.
Right, okay. That makes sense. I get that.
Right, okay. So we look at the site navigation.
Yeah, brilliant. Let's go.
So you don't often see a bad site navigation. That's kind of because they're often missed out though.
That's what you would rather see a bad one.
So this diagram, I've actually stolen this from the Understanding Standards 2023 materials. And what it does, it clearly shows the session variables in here, because again, session variables are something that are not designed. Clearly shows the session variables. It clearly shows what pages that they're used on, and it also shows the movement between the pages.
Okay, so really from higher, the only new element is the session variable that I can see. Yeah, is that right? Yeah.
That's it, but there's also a post if you need that. But there isn't a requirement for post, but we do need the session variable, and it can either be on here or somewhere with a list of the pages that it can be accessed on as needed. And earlier, I spoke about what was going to be getting stored in the session variable. We need that too. Now, whether that's within other design or whether that's in a document underneath, that's fine. But as long as the session variables are on the structure and then a description elsewhere, that's what we need to see.
Yes, I mean, so navigation's not hard. It's just we need to remind the kids to actually do it.
That's right. Just make sure that they submit it in, add in the same as what you did at Hire, add in the session variables, and that's us. We're happy.
No bother. Done. Happy with that.